morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are watching my live broadcast on the 8th of March 2025. My broadcast today is a call to new Nigerian nation builders. We are at a political turbulence in Nigeria as we speak. So I have taken it upon myself to speak out, and I'm very glad that I'm going to be able to do it. My first thought or point is that we are in a political turbulence because Shettima was addressing some war bodies a couple of days ago, where he said that federalism is not the problem in Nigeria, but the problem in Nigeria is corruption. I am here to pick fight with his assertion. I'm picking fight with his assertion from the angle that our problem in Nigeria is women problem. We also have what we call the marginalization of the people of African descent by the foreign missionary vis-a-vis 47 in America. I want that one to settle in for a few minutes. What I mean by that is that we are going through what we call a system dated back to 700,000 years back, when human beings dissipated from Africa and went to populate the entire universe. For one reason or the other, there was a geographical and climatic at play that changes the configuration of the tribes of the world, in which you see the Caucasians with the big nose, with the pointed nose, and their skin they lacked the melanin, which is the recessive gene that put them in a position where they easily get skin cancer when they stay in the sun. We know of the fact that we people who were in the continent had equator, which makes our skin to be very dark. Those geographical and climatic conditions set in place where, after the settlement down of other tribes like the Hispaniola, like the Oceanians, like the Israelis, there was a second wave of what I call migration of the world, where people were now moving around, and it was that move around that made them to come back and started using what we call hegemonic exceptionalism. I have covered this topic over and again, and I will continue to hammer it. But our problem today, because I just differed with Shettima a while ago, Vice President Shettima, I just differed with him. But our problem today, like I know it, came from example when I was a toddler, I had a little hunch on my back, which exacerbates attention deficit disorder, which my dad passed when I was really little. After, but I thought, when I look back now, I don't even think he would have been able to do anything about me, because he was involved in what you call same old that is destroying us today. Where he believed, okay, I'm going to go start having a shop in Lagos Street. Come home and eat. Have an extra wife. He already had children, a child out of wedlock before meeting my mother. And my mother already had children, a child out of wedlock before meeting the father. So this idea of what you call how we got here, we're being capitalized. Okay? There is something bad about that point I was just making a while ago. The superiority that was put in place when the Caucasians came into Africa, because it was black and white thing, more black and white thing, because my mother used to say, okay, she used to believe that those Iranians, those Lebanese, those Chinese, those Indians, they are all white. So when they came in there and then started messing with us, what we finally got to was they went back and started saying, oh, we are more superior. Okay? When I was a toddler, it beats me and it pained me, because in our society at that time, it was full of where some daughter heads, some little daughter heads, would take a picture with Lebanese and says that he's hanging out with white people. Same goes with what you call, that stigmatism has now become what you call a big doo-doo that is going to need the dipsticks to be able to get out of it. I said that with all due respect, not as violence against those who are perpetuating that, but because they know what they're getting into was wrong, but they went ahead and delivered on it anyway. Let me quickly run that to a level where you can understand what I'm trying to say today. What I'm trying to say today is that there are these people who are within the status quo, of those people who have come to believe that there is nothing they can do about the status, and as such they are sabotaging those they are supposed to be protecting. It comes in very many ways, whether they say they are the elites, educationists, and those who went abroad. For example, I went abroad, and I'm going to be an example of when somebody who went abroad. When I went there, I had a bottleneck in Nigeria that I wanted to take care of, and when I went there, I took care of it and I came back. I'm not a strong advocate of don't go abroad, because you got to be able to break bread with these white people to be able to make good on the deliverable. I am calling out those who I am calling out are those people who inadvertently believe. They will not tell you that's what their inner core belief is, but that's what they are perpetuating, and they will continue to perpetuate it. They come in all kinds of shape, whether they are traditional rulers, whether they are politicians, whether they are elites, or they are all interested in their stomach infrastructure. So I am of the opinion that unless we start calling them out individually, we're not going to ever be able to get to the next level of abstraction. That's my prognosis. Today, recording is going to start by saying, for example, I am not able to consistently load my messages in a manner where I'm staying consistent, but I will be taking care of that going forward. I'm working on a very strange, short-string budget. When I say short-string budget, I don't even have a budget, in the sense that when I landed in America, I did concentrate on my bottleneck and spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to overcome it. After I overcome it, I said, okay, I would love to return back, and there was no welcoming hand. And I thought I wanted to go to the next level where I could be able to say, hey, I want to become, to have a wealthy friend. I was working on that when my age came into place. And not only that, I have not done anything that will make me go under 6 feet. But for one reason or the other, I was able to get what you call my family coming at my rescue and bailing me out and bringing me back home. So at this point in time, I'm living on a borrowed shoestring budget that will carry me for the rest of my life if I choose not to do anything, because I did not follow the protocol of going 6 feet under over there, which is the biggest problem most people in diaspora are having. They are lying to themselves, saying that, hey, a president is not here, big man. You're here, big baba man. You're here, big where man. We have now come to find out now that everything has gone upside down with this advent of the 49, who haphazardly is a loose cannon, and he's just doing it. He doesn't know what he's doing. But he's been put there because if he did not come to become the president of 47, he would have been jailed. And as such, the white supremacists quickly brought him there because he would have been in jail to the president tomorrow. And as such, he's there, and he's subtly not telling you guys, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not a racist. But if your lieutenant is giving a high, and he's telling them that in South Africa, because those people are putting what you call protecting their own people, you are saying that so they should be punished for protecting their own people. Or going to Sudan. Okay, let me quickly give you 2 other nuggets. Because every day that you come to this channel, you will be coming away with at least 2 or 3 information that you may not know about, because as I told somebody a couple of days ago, I am a walking encyclopedia. Steinman, the UK has just declared that globalization as we know it is over. What you call hegemonial exceptionalism of globalization is over because of the tariff that is being passed here and there. Something good came out of this unnecessary upheaval, because nobody knew that those 180 countries that he's saying and declaring tariff on had a tariff in their background. So he is only counteracting the tariff that was in the background. Let me quickly say this too. For example, 3 women have said they should not go for tooth for tie. Okay, Koji Ewale said don't go for tooth for tie. President of Mexico said don't go for tooth for tie. Kemi in UK said don't go for tooth for tie. They are signing off on what we call let the sleeping dog lies, which is the biggest sickness of our time, because if you allow the sleeping dog to lie, you don't know when she's going to come or he's going to come out of the woodwork to start making some dangerous moves. Let me also say too that I have covered a lot of area today. The title of this presentation today is When Silence is Violence. I am not advocating violence by any state of human. We are calling out the guardians of the king. If we want to change the direction of women and black people in society, we must start protecting those who are doing the most damage, especially when they are close to us. That's a very big one. So that's so big that you start wondering what does that mean? What it means is that if you have a friend and you find out that they are inadvertently supporting white supremacy, call them out. Don't mince words. Because the reason why I'm advocating that is because if you watch carefully the war between Christians and the Muslims, the Christians are making a hell of a mistake by thinking that they can use what we call the military-industrial complex to crush the Islam. But what the Islam got in hand is the fact that they will first of all go after their own people to send a message that I am coming after you later on. So their strength is not just in, I am going to bomb Iran. I'm going to bomb them. I mean, no, everybody knew that your disdain for Iranian is not for the Iranian, it's for the Muslim. You want to crush the Muslim one. You are making the biggest mistake of your life, because if there is only one Muslim remaining, after you've already killed all of them, one Muslim child remaining, Allah Kiyaye, inshallah, they will definitely resuscitate. It's an ideology. It's a fundamental belief. It's not thing to do with, I am going to bomb them. And I was surprised too that Moscow just said that we are not going to go after, we are not going to be providing military cover to Iran. And the reason they said that is because Moscow and Washington are both people from the Caucasus, the Caucasus Mountain. That's why they call them the Caucasians. That's what Putin was hoping for all his life, to be able to have the white people to become superior. And he has successfully done it when he saw that Trump came in. So Trump has put 180 tariff out there, but he has not put any on Russia, because himself, I'm pissed off against him. I mean, how big your mouth is, how wide your ass is. I'm pissed off at him. Just like the way they say it in English, I'm pissed off at him. So let me take another issue up. We are very much aware that breaking down the problem, talk about how influential is the insider, like mentor, activist, leadership, have caused whom either by action or inaction. Like I already covered the area of what you call the let the sleeping dog lies. So my thing is, before I die, one of the problems that I intend to seek solution to is the idea of dames, youth, people of African descendants who are fueling the flame of inferiority that was a fluke of a measured subtlety. What I mean by that is that when you see people talking about the issue that is facing us, that's it right there. You got to be able to address the women thing and the youth thing, because the women thing is more or less of how we're going to make 2027 presidential election to be able to bring a woman like Natasha Aboti, and we are looking for some people to help to vent her, and we're looking at Aisha Yesufu, stuff like that, to vent her. These are people are saying that presidency is about who is more qualified, and I am saying that I'm not worried about who is more qualified. I'm only worried about capacity build up, critical mass. Like, for example, I anticipate that Kamala Harris will run for the next cycle, and if she's facing Nikki Haley, and they are able to dislodge 47 because he wants to go for 48, and we have two women, definitely one of them will become president. And that's what I mean by infrastructural build-up and capacity build-up. I am simulcasting from Benin. Let me say that my stay abroad, what has been my biggest advantage in life, because I went there to go break bread with the hegemonious exceptionalism. Something that I did as a kid was, after losing my dad, I went to primary school, took myself to primary school. So when I got there, I was in the same height with people that I went to school to go and register. But when it was time for me to bring out my certificate, I didn't have any. So I had to put my hands across my ear, and I was able to get registered. So my age was made up. Subsequently made up ages when I was in baptizing, or when I would get driver's license, I just make up the age as I was going. But it did happen that there was an area where when I made up an age, it became a little bit of a sticky situation where the age did hold water. So at the time I was getting ready to travel abroad, I may think that maybe I made the alteration after I've already got my visa. But the age that I hold on my passport was age in which Nigeria did not recognize. But I used it as my registration when I got to America because I thought that was the right age for me. I could not renew my passport because the consulates were telling you are older than even your elder sister. So my thing was, I'm not here to argue from age. I'm here to solve a bottleneck. And I was able to successfully solve the bottleneck of beating all the odds through a brute force by piling up 3 more degrees. When I was not supposed to even go to primary, I flunked out when I went in there. Secondary, I flunked out when I went in there. Associate, I flunked out when I went in there. Undergraduate, I flunked out when I went in there. Another associate, I flunked out when I went in there. Another bachelor's degree, I flunked out when I went in there. But I did have a brute force where at the time of finishing everything, I felt more well-informed. Then I started finding out that money was one of the courses in which I was working 120 hours a week or 80 hours a week and still have 26 career hours carried. So I decided to say, let me have a wetty felt. I was working on it when having fun when my age came to become a problem. The reason I'm bringing that up is because at this point in time, when the bottom line there was that I needed help. I wasn't an island on my own, but I was trying to do it all by myself. But when my family then stepped in and said, my family have decided that they were going to be going abroad without consulting with me. So when they got there and they started seeing the terrain, there was understanding now that they're going to have to do what they're going to have to do. So as they were doing that, they decided to say, okay, if Uncle Ogesoba did not go in and seek Pali, we can sympathize with him. And as such, we're going to seek Pali, and they did. And as such, we want to bring him down in body and soul. Through an emergency traveling document, I was able to bypass using that as my passport to return back into Nigerian airspace. I've been back now for considerable number of months as a Gyogbe. Welcome to Gyogbe. That's how I call returning back to Benin. And I have not zero regret for being back. I have hold my own with a little Skyping. I was able to use that Skyping, which was meant for feeding, to get another book published. How did you do that? I did it through what you call not worry about eating, not worry about housing, no worry about transportation, no worry about medical bills. All I had to worry about was eat, sleep, read, and write. And I did it. And I was able to pay an editorial, a developmental editor who's a publisher, who published my first book called Guide to Goddess by Ogesoba Idada. The new one is Dreams Beyond Border, turning reality, turning vision into reality. That's a new book. So I'm writing I wrote the book. It's solo. It's a solo book. It's a fiction. It's a memoir. Something about me. How I see Nigeria can be rescued, agriculturally speaking. So right now, as I speak, I am having a book that I would love you to go record. And for you to order that book, I said that yesterday, and I'll say it today. My phone number is 070 33 62 7981. You can pre-order the book because it's coming out of the press in a week or so. I will have a copy of it, and I will also have it on the Amazon, where you can download it on Amazon. But it's how do you make Nigeria to work during our lifetime, which is a mantle of people like Obi, Peter Obi, or Nigeria Watch. So I am calling you guys to go buy the book or send me a text message, and I will put you in my database so that I will send you a link to be able to download the book. I would prefer you download it because the cost of printing is exorbitantly high. That is where Amazon eats. That's how Amazon eat their dinner and their lunch and breakfast. They go in and take your life struggle and come into a fulfillment house. So when you send them information to that fulfillment house, they will then mail it to you, and they will give you a haircut. So a lot of the time people are pissed off. So in my last book, which is the first book that I published when I was in the United States, I didn't even have the resources to be able to go and do what you call big time marketing. So I just abandoned it there. The book sold. The Treasury Department sent me a link telling me that, this is your tax credit for the year. But I did, as soon as I arrived in Nigeria, the first thing I said was that, was I going to go into sunset? That's the direction that my family wanted me to go, which means wake up in the morning, go exercise, look for you a young lady. That's it. But when I came back here, because I have no money, no car, no girlfriend, and I literally have enough working capital to retire in America for 42 years. So I was pretty much set to be able to start getting that money. But when I applied for it, I got turned down. It didn't bother me none because I know I can get it back when I get ready. Not only that, that money is even better when you are 70, because that would pay per maximum. So when I came back, I decided to go into Sunrise, and I cannot overemphasize that. I am so proud of myself, because when I did call my family to step in to see whether they can do what I did back there, they were smart enough to say, we are not going to be your venture capitalist. It didn't bother me. But I told them that I'm going to do it, whether they do it or not, because first of all, I needed to be doing something anyway. They wanted me to go into what you call sunset by going out there. They were ready to give me one of my last born of my sister, who is a legal luminary, wanted to give me the capital, big money, to start what my surrogate father started after he got retired, a cement store, or doing juice with my elder sister under the Coca-Cola umbrella. So my thing is that I said, no, I want to do something that I am good at, something that I have put my heart into, which is protection of women. The protection of an adult suffrage women. Under the misogynistic umbrella of the hate that the Africans, men have perpetuated on women. So when the white people did come in to come and check us out after they become an embodiment, so what they did was to pick the bad things that we were doing in Africa and capitalize on it. And that is what we're currently having now with the double whammy of Harris was not able to win. Clinton was not able to win because this is the big, excuse my French, D-I-C-K, D-A-D-D-Y. Eyeing a woman said, oh yeah, the cleverage. Not only that, the hate in his heart, which is for the black people, which I believe is, we need to restore the dignity of the black man. So back to my book. You read the book. Come up. You already have what you're doing for the black race. All you have to do was start capitalize on it and go for the jugular. You come back at me. The first thing you're going to come back at me is that you are going to either say, I'm going to volunteer for this gigantic project. Like, for example, yesterday we needed what you call an event planner. That event planner will be somebody who can go out there on a pro bono basis and put together the corporate chieftain like MTN, Glo, Leventis. They have a corporate ends of their own world, and ask them to sign up in our book launch that is coming up in June, which is June 12th, which one way or the other is going to be the Democracy Day, which is also collided with my birth. So we are saying that you are going to volunteer. We are also asking at the same point in time to have, under the volunteering, I just did mention pro bono, in case you're not comfortable with volunteer. We can tie mentorship into that, which means if you are out there, you just graduated from University of Benin with cum laude, and you don't have a job, and if you come to us and said, we want to mentor under you, we will put you in touch with renowned people who have successfully done well in your industry. If that doesn't happen at all, let me quickly say this, and this is getting more deep now. If that doesn't happen at all, it did happen that, if it did happen that you say, okay, your skill set is industrial mathematics. So what we're going to do is to put you to go in and work as a volunteer slash pro bono, depending on how the funding is coming in. So right away, you are getting paid and you are getting what you call the skill set. As a matter of fact, I'm even overemphasizing one point now, and I don't want to say this. I'm going to say it now. We are going to give you a scholarship to go into any postgraduate work all across the world, whether you have OND, HND, you have bachelor's degree, master's degree, you have PhD, you want to jackpot, we would be able to put you back to jackpot. The reason why I said that is because when I jackpot, I did not have no ligaments to the system here in Nigeria. Because as I said, I was like a doctor without a border. I was out of compliance before I left, and I stayed out of compliance over there. I'm back again now, ready to start in square one. I do not have to travel out of Nigeria for the rest of my life. As a matter of fact, as soon as I came back to Benin, my sister came and wanted me to come back to Lagos, and I told her, no, I'm not going to come to Lagos until I have a book in my hand. What I meant by that is that now I have the book is in my hand now. When I'm talking to people, I can present them with what's called a mandate of how to make Nigerian work during our lifetime. Most of the people I'm going to be talking to, most of them are the one that I am targeting right now, which I told you in this broadcast are those people who, out of their stomach infrastructure, hide by being corrupt. That's what Shatima was talking about. But I'm not too big on that corrupt thing because I personally have fought corruption at a high level when I was thrown into the limelight to become the president of the student union government, where my advisors, so my kitchen cabinet, were trying to tell me that you eat, get your own fair share, get your cut, and I did not listen to them. So at the time I was getting out of school, I was able to get my diploma without no auditing. So I went in and got a better job, which puts me into 3 jobs. No Nigerian has that record. I had state that sent me to school. I came out with a federal job, federal position, and I also went in for a teaching position. But then, that teaching position, I went in, I checked in, but it didn't work. But because of how demanding my federal job where I had to leave home as early as 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't come back till about 10 in the midnight. So, the then president, I believe, I may be wrong, because I stand to be corrected, allegedly did dissolve the basin, Benue River Basin Development Authority, a year after I left for abroad, which means he knew what was going on. Is it unlikely that 15% may have gone into his coffer? And when the 50% is coming down from the slope, when it came to my turn, I did question, why do we need to destroy the future of the unborn? And as such, I was not dealt with harshly. He just told you, go away, because we went for an inspection. And at that point, when I went for an inspection, I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm going to say this now. I still did not know what I am doing until now that I'm back to Nigeria 9 months ago. And the only reason why I now know, I think, that I know what I'm doing going forward is because I had a hunch in my back. The hunch sits on my nerves and sent me into what you call short attention deficit environment. So in trying to overcome that shortcoming, my memory module was fried. It would have been the position of my father to take care of it, but he passed. So in my case, I decided instead of going into the business with him, I had to go into the direction of my surrogate father, which I am glad that he went towards education. And I went into education. I was not going to be good at it, but I had to go into it there for brute force. Fail primary, fail secondary, fail associate, fail undergraduate, fail associate, fail another undergraduate. What I mean by fail, I mean I was on probation. At Western Illinois University, I was on suspension, but I peeled it back up, and I was able to graduate and pick up that degree that I have in my hand right now, way more than the 147 degree that one Indian had, which is highest number of degree that people could have ever amassed, because he didn't have no short attention. So again, I am craving your indulgence. And the second appeal is going to be what you call feel good thing. You're going to feel good about yourself. If you pat with 1 naira, 2 naira, 3 naira, doesn't matter. Pat with your few naira, 1 naira, 50 naira. I know the denomination is 50, 100, 1,000, and stuff like that. So, one, if you part with that money, which is I have put my stamp on it and I call it an investment, I did not call it donation, because if you part with that money and throw it into Zenith Bank with my name on it, I think it will hit my bank. I'm not going to give the bank account because I've been advised against giving personal bank account because people can easily hack it. So I am going to, as soon as my checking account goes in, which is going to be a business checking account, I can start giving it out because that's going to be business. So if you part with your hard-earned money, there are good money out there, there are bad money out there, 419, those who I said I was calling out, and I'm saying that now, that I'm going to be calling them out. That's the more reason why, since I have arrived, I have not had any contact with them, because they might try to influence the direction that they would love me to go. And as such, I want to have my gravitas solid before I can talk to them. When I'm talking to them, if they are talking noise, because some of them will say that, oh, the direction you are going is not going to work. I already have such an insinuation in which people are not going to talk to me. I'm less worried about that. I would love total strangers to buy my book. I would love to have my family and my members of my inner cycle to be the one that would work the ground so that they can have what you call more capacity and more critical mass. But if they don't have, I don't think I have enough of that, because I am a loner. I'm not alone. I'm alone, but I'm not. I'm a loner, but I'm not. I'm constantly alone. But I'm a loner, but I'm not lonely. I'm so filled up with enthusiasm. You can even say it in my voice. I'm not being trying to be sarcastic now. That's who you are dealing with here. You are dealing with what you call somebody who have spent 42 years without seeking women to go and use them for green card. Least to say that I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway because I was out of compliance. I'm going to have to travel back to Nigeria or travel to Mexico and stuff like that. But while you are doing that, the woman that you are using, they know that you as a foreigner has more, has an accent. They dig your accent. It's like you see somebody have an accent, you're going to dig it. I dig your accent. That's very popular in the in in foreign cycle. So they know, and I was pretty much approached to do it, and I told them no because that was not the direction that I wanted to go. I said I was going to get a PhD, and I did get the PhD, even though it was an undergraduate degree. Because if you look at the 26 years of acting classroom work, somebody who has PhD didn't do that. They had to do secondary, which primary, secondary, which is 6 years. They do another 5 years, which is 11 years. They do undergraduate one, level 12, 13, 14, 15, and do 16, 17 for undergraduate, 18, 19, 20. That's how highest they could have gone. And I went to 26 years of acting class when I'm not supposed to be in school at all. So I'm asking you that I'm going to need your support in terms of doing an investment. Don't get me wrong. All the money that you are putting in will be paid back to you. The benefit for you is going to be what we can discuss through Zoom, and you tell me your pain point, whether you're a small business, whether you're a medium-sized business, whether you're a large business. And in this category, I'm talking about the entire continent of Africa, the United States of America, the Caribbean. And I'm concentrating on those markets because those are the areas where we have a lot of firepower. I'm not discounting Europe, I'm not discounting Asia, I'm not discounting South America, but I'm only saying that we have our gravitas, our stronghold of happiness in that environment. So, after the donation, after sending me money my way, like I said, send it to OGIESOBA, Put a note there that you want it sent into his account through Zenith Bank. Or if I can even obfuscate my account number. But how dangerous that can be has not been proven by anybody yet. So, but the point I'm making here is that you can send the money to me. Let me quickly say one thing, and this is like I'm being sarcastic. I'm set up for the rest of my life not to do anything no more. I'm really one of those people who have retired after working 24 hours, 7 days a week. And I'm in my late 60s. And when I got out, nobody, and I repeat, nobody has ever had that kind of settlement of the heart of 4-bedroom, living in a big compound. All I had to do was exercise. And that's what my family told me to do. Eat, drink, smoke, and carry women. Eat, drink, smoke, and they carry women. But that's not life. What is life is the ability to be able to make the bed so that your future generation can be able to lie in it. These messages I'm carrying across here, it's a little bit, it's a little bit touchy, but it's okay. It's too touchy, and that's the reason why I'm recording it. It's touchy. It's very touchy because the people I was hanging out with when I was little, I was pained by the way they were living life. I was not pained in my life because my hunch in my back was too fluid. There was a lot of, the fluidity means it was affecting my short attention, but it did not in any way done any destruction in me. But when I went to abroad, I started this crazy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week work ethics. I came into one point where my mom was telling me, if you don't come in on time, you may not meet me alive. So that, I gave her 6 months. That pressure did send my anxiety into haywire. I thought that was capital P, capital T, capital P, capital O, capital T, small letter S part, which means the gasket that control all my self-organ blew up. But I did not know that it was the hunch in my back. But I did bounce out of it by, when I take a shower, I will walk my back against the wash hand, the sleeping, the big bathtub with soapy on it, and that would have calculated my body, that salt, and came down to zero. I didn't know I was solving the problem. I did discuss it with my best friend, which is also my doctor friend, Dr. Drama, and he told me, if that thing, we cannot even recommend surgery because you may not make it out of the gunny, because they're going to have to cut something, and when they cut something out, I'm fucked. I'm screwed. So I started taking it. But when I came down to Nigeria, I have gone through what I called a total reconfiguration of my age that has gone a little bit deeper. My age that has gone a little bit deeper. And what I mean by that is that my age has gone a little bit deeper. So there was this idea of me being on high blood pressure medication when I was in America. All I had to do was go in. My blood pressure medication I was taking was almost like $300 a month, which is the highest high blood pressure medication in there. But then, when I came in to Benin, I said, okay, I've asked my nephew, how did you, when I was in Atlanta, when I was in Covington, in Georgia, that I saw some concoction in his refrigerator. That's when he told me it was soursop. So when I came back to Benin, he was in town. He went in and got one soursop, and I still have it in my arsenal, and I have not finished it. I cut it up, put the juice into the bottle, and instead of paying almost like 60,000, 65,000 naira a month for the high blood pressure medication that they were recommending to me by either UBTH, Edo Specialist Hospital, or AD International Hospital. So at that point in time, I just said, okay, at this point in time, blood pressure has been taken care of. I'm not in any medication. So I have what you call a wash down of my reconfiguration of the entire anatomy and physiology. So I am at the point in which, at this time, I am living large. Living real large. What I mean by living large is because I did not have to bother to buy more medication, and I solved a problem that was almost like killing me over there. This to say that the insurance that was going to keep me keeping on, I did have a fling with it when I worked at the River Basin under Dr. Aleto. To the point where when I was leaving, I had the vaccine, and the vaccine did exacerbate my health to the point where I was going through what you call lightheadedness and stuff like that. So when I went abroad, when I got there, it was repetitive again because the hunch was there. Now that I've discovered that what my problem is, what I do now is to rub it after I've already taken a shower with soapy, and then slug it through it, and count 100 or 200 as the case may be. So my sleeping has got better because I was putting what you call a hand sanitizer on it that reduces the mass. I was very happy about that. As I'm talking to you now, I want you to give me a shout out and say thanks, Erede Nokpoko Yeyo, the dame of Erede, which is a woman god, because women were the god. The men just got jealous of them and flipped the narrative. And those who did it was just not different from you, anyone that is no longer living. And I'm counting on whether it was the gateway to God, which is Jesus Christ, or the gateway to Allah, which is Muhammad. These are the culprits. And I'm pushing for Ogeki, which is my grandmother, to be able to carry the mantle of Erede Nokpoko, which is the chalk god. We have Guadalupe in the down Central America. We have the Greek goddess down in the north, in the European world. Just about any part of the world has their own deity. God is a deity, and Allah is a deity, and Erede is a deity, but they are the omnipotent, omnipresence, and omniscience. So when human beings are going through difficulty, their minds quickly flip into what we call the omnipotent, omnipresence, and omniscience. When he goes in there, they started thinking, oh, why me? That is when they start thinking about God. Let me also make another point why I am at it, and I'm going to try as much as I can not to overwork this, and I'm going to stop in a minute. Like I said, there is method to my madness. So when silence is violence, call out the guardian of the gate. If we want to change the direction of women and people of African descent, we must stop protecting those who are doing the most damage, especially when they are close to us. So the point I'm making there is that if you have a relative you know you cannot level with because you are out there trying to make the world a better place, if you can't level with them, don't kiss up to them because you are going to keep your psychic down the toilet. It will go down the drain. And 99.9999% of we black people have gone through that. That's the problem. So, again, I am personally doing great. And I hope that with all this that I'm putting out there, I am going to try as much as I can to add. Said out there are the following open, close-ended questions. Ready to see Nigerian work during our lifetime? Yes, we can. Si se pueda. Disregard the contemporary administration because we have somebody which we can depend on, that we can count on, that has a better understanding of the system at hand. And he did point out that the new administration, when there was what you call the state of emergency in the River State, my principal, or let me say, the obedient principal, came out and said that some people build houses from ground zero. Some people build it up to decking. Some people come in and tear it down. That was it. He has even come out in the second foreigner and started talking about how people are in the office and they have what you call fake certificates. I was part of that schema when I was in Nigeria. But the thing is that I was able to do everything right. You didn't have to pass primary school exam to be able to get one. You just get out. But then, I wasn't able to go to secondary school, so I went to go repeat in another school. And I was able to finish that school when I went to go repeat in another school. When I then got into the last one, did another one, I did find myself in a position where while I was there, I was able to get into the program. And when I was doing the preliminary 6 months program, after I finished it, I came back to Efuze where my surrogate father was, and I was able to take secondary school, West Africa School Certificate of Education. So I am primarily qualified to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm going to reckon on that. Even though I am not looking out for myself, I'm only looking out for a woman for 2027. Let me stop here, thus. So, thank you for coming in. You have my email address as Azimi, AZIMIKOKO 5@gmail.com. Let me repeat that. AZIMIKOKO 5@gmail.com. And the reason I'm using that Azimi Koko under the umbrella of my branding called Yes We Can, Si Se Pueda, is because I believe that there is nothing. As a matter of fact, so many things have come out with 47 out there running around trying to catch the air. Many things has come out. We now know that the United States was getting a lot of tariff against them that we didn't know. Where I was thinking that Nigeria was, or Africa was being destroyed because they will come in into a country like Nigeria and then extract the oil and take the crude oil to another country and and refine it and bring it back and get to the country to come and sell it. So with the advent of what you call the fuel subsidy being taken away, with the coming up on board of the Decaton refinery and two other refineries in Warren and Port Harcourt, we are set up. Let me say this on the last note. We are not doing bad. We are not doing bad at all. We're doing better than everyone else. But we are having problems seeing the tree from the forest. So with the hustling that is 70% of the youth are doing, unless they have to do it before they can eat, we can make that go away. The food insecurity. And finally, I want to go on the record that my solution is going to be under the umbrella of what you call my technological know-how that I was able to put in place through the fact that I want to go and pick up a degree in computer science. And I read extensively about the research. And I came across artificial intelligence when I never thought it was going to come in place. That has really helped me out a lot. As a matter of fact, the only thing I'm going to tell you as I speak right now is that go in and set up a Google account. Google account. After you set up a Google account, go in and download what we call OpenAI. And you can use it if you are handicapped, like me. You'll be able to use it as an assistant. And that's what I have successfully done. I go in and have what you call my stream of consciousness and run it through AI, and it comes up with a crisp information, and I send it to my beta, my developmental editor, and he spins it. That spin, I don't have that skill set to do that. But I do know that with time I can do it. Like, for example, I was reading about a guy who was a spin doctor. During the last election of 47, he went in and said, okay, guys, you guys are supporting 47 and as such, I need to send you a questionnaire, send me the questionnaire. Nobody helped him out because they were feeling that he was a goku, that he knows how to spin narratives to the point where it becomes fiction. That's his stronghold. And that is what I am planning here to come and do in return, that I am going to be what you call I'm going to push every Nigerian, every people of African descent, every woman, those 72 youth that are having a wheelbarrow on the street every day, to go in and then bring out the book in them. So I'm a publisher. Matter of fact, we're going to have to do what we call API, Application Programming Interface, for any company that needs it. So if you send me your pain points, you are in the right hand. Everything I'm saying now, I know a lot of people are going to take it literally and go start implementing it on your own. Let me tell you, you need somebody who have been there, done that, have a t-shirt that say that, and I'm the one. Let me stop does. I am delighted to be with you today, and I want to be with you at a point where I can deliver this every day. This is my third episode, and I hope I'll be able to upload this. Thank you so much.